Hello everybody and welcome to Still Standing with Ukraine. And I'm Marie and this is Russell. And Russell, I think you've got a lot to say about what happened last week, so let us know what you've got.
Well, surprise, surprise, at last week's meeting, Vladimir Putin continued to play Donald Trump for the fool he is, and the meeting ended with no progress whatsoever toward a peaceful outcome in Ukraine. If you've been paying attention for the last 7 months, you knew no good would come of this Trump-Putin meeting, which was staged just to boost the ego of two low-life egomaniacs anyhow. During the last 7 months, Trump has given Putin 6 different ultimatums. He had to agree to a ceasefire within 2 weeks, or I'll impose stiff sanctions if he has to stop killing Ukrainian civilians, or else, and so on and so on. And every time the deadline runs out, Putin ignores Trump and his meaningless ultimatums, and he chickens out and does absolutely nothing to hold Putin accountable. Now, in those 7 months, Putin has done nothing to show that he wants to end this war in Ukraine. Why should it have been any different this time? Now, that's not to say that nothing was accomplished at the meeting. Putin accomplished a great deal. Trump legitimized him and allowed him to appear as a powerful world leader instead of the isolated, weak loser that he is. And Putin now gets to tell the Russians and the rest of the world, I tried to negotiate an end to this terrible conflict, but my efforts were scorned and ruined by the warmongering West. And he got Trump to let one more deadline come and go with no consequences whatsoever. Trump went into this meeting promising severe consequences, if Putin wouldn't agree to a ceasefire. Putin not only refused to consider a ceasefire, he convinced Trump to give up on the whole ceasefire idea.
Yeah.
Now, after the meeting ended, Putin showed his dominance over Trump, I should say continued to show his dominance over Trump, by delivering the first summary statement, while Trump adorningly looked on.
Yeah.
Trump then made a meaningless statement, the 2 refused questions from reporters, and the 3-hour summit was over. So the talks have been expected to last at least 7 hours, and this whole thing could have been done with an email or a phone call. Now, don't forget, which people are forgetting, don't forget that Vladimir Putin is an internationally convicted, not just charged, an internationally convicted war criminal. Inviting him to a U.S. military base inside the United States was an affront to every American, every Ukrainian, and really every member of the free world. He should have been slapped into handcuffs the instant he stepped onto territory of the United States. And that's what would have happened if he had visited any of the 125 different countries around the civilized world that subscribe to the authority of the International Criminal Court in The Hague. Instead, Donald Trump actually rolled out a red carpet for this thug. You can see it on videos and whatnot. And he affectionately called Putin Vladimir. Maybe Trump regards Putin so warmly because he, too, is a convicted felon criminal. Well, let's hope this dog and pony show put on to boost Trump's ego and help steal a Nobel Peace Prize for the narcissist in chief did no serious damage. What needs to happen now is for European leaders to take back control of things. First of all, they need to stroke Trump's ego and tell him, you tried, you did your best, but Putin can't be reasoned with. Then they need to do a few more things. They need to ratchet up pressure for number one. They need to ratchet up pressure on Putin with truly crippling sanctions once and for all on Russia. Number 2, they need to sanction countries like China and India and make it impossible for them to continue funding Putin's war through their buying of Russian oil. Number 3, they need to seize the $300 billion of Russian money that's held in foreign banks and use that money to fund Ukraine's war effort against Russia. And 4, I'd say finally, they need to send military forces to Eastern Europe and to Ukraine, not to fight, but to help with logistics, training, building defense fortifications, equipment repair, and the like. There's a lot that troops can do other than shoot guns.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Russia will threaten the West with total annihilation again, but they've already used foreign troops from many African countries and by putting 12,000 North Koreans on the front lines last winter. So now to end this video on a positive note, I was going to say the European leaders are jumping right into action. Today, Monday, August 18th, the leaders of 5 European countries, the head of the European Commission, and the head of NATO are all joining Zelensky in Washington to lobby Trump to provide more support for Ukraine. And it's really significant that these 7 European heavyweights put everything on their busy schedules on hold at the drop of a dime to fly to Washington and support Zelensky. Actions, not words. That's what we need more of.
Yeah, action for sure.
So I hope you found this information useful, and that you're still standing with Ukraine, everybody.
Yeah, Slava Ukraini, and Heroam Slava. And thank you for listening today. And if you like what you're hearing from us, hit the like button and the subscribe button. And see you on the next update.